I was giving away a lot of free time, consultations, just to try to land the work. I didn't know how to leverage myself. I didn't know how to position myself. And then when I went to that conference in 2018, it really changed my business. Fantastic. I am Dawn Christine, and I'm with Dawn Christine Architect, PLLC. We are located in Cary, North Carolina, and the Mastermind Conference was fantastic. First of all, it got us out of our comfort zone and into a beautiful place, and a change in position affects your perspective 100%. And so I think a lot of people walked away, including myself, with a change in perspective and a refreshed, renewed inspiration for design in our practices and building our practices and building the people that we work with. And I think another thing that I learned to really implement is I'm such a problem solver, and as architects we are taught to solve problems, but I think I learned from this conference to really step back, slow down, and ask more questions, and don't just intuit, but ask and see if your intuition is aligning. More information helps. So I just thought that was really good information. And also, the other thing I learned is these folks here, they've got skills, and their presentations, their products, their messaging are just fantastic. And so I think we all walked away with areas of growth and ways that we can improve. And like I always say, you're never done improving. You got to keep going. So that's my goal, to keep going. Back before I went to the conference in 2018 with AMI, I'd started out on my own. I was a feeble kind of, just startup. I'm going to do this. I felt really called to start. It was not something I walked into lightly. I actually was scared to go out on my own, and I really felt a kick to go. And I didn't really want to go because I was like, I have no money. I have no source. I got small kids. Starting a business on my own with no reliable source of income is kind of stupid, actually. But I went anyways. And so I was just figuring it out. And I was giving away a lot of free time, consultations, just to try to land the work. I didn't know how to leverage myself. I didn't know how to position myself. And then when I went to that conference in 2018, it really changed my business in a radical way, because it was a total shift in mindset. I mean, Richard talks about, and you talk about mindset and how mindset affects where you're going to be. Your attitude affects your altitude. And so if you can shift your mindset, you can shift your altitude. And that's really what happened for me. I implemented some very practical things that were given to me. I put my own spin on it and used it in a way that fit my business and my way of thinking, and it was ultimately successful. I mean, obviously, I'm not at the pinnacle, but I'm growing, and that, to me, that is success, is growing. We tend to have a lot of repeat clients, so client hires us for one project, and they just keep hiring us to do the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And so I keep hiring and hiring and hiring, and I've been building my staff to the extent where I have no room in the office that I currently am at to hire anybody else. I remember when I first moved into the office space, I was looking for the space the size of my dining room because that's what I was working out of. And I remember the guy that gave me my space. I mean, it really was a miracle. This guy was awesome. He asked me, he's like, what are you willing to pay for this? And I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I can't afford this. And he's like, well, I'm the owner. You tell me what you can afford and you can move in. And so I got this fantastic office space. I never thought I would outgrow it. And now we're outgrown. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Actually coming here, every time you take a leap into the unknown, you really learn something new about yourself and what interests you and what direction you want to go. And really coming here to New Zealand, the landscape was just compelling. The majesty of the mountains, the water, the colors, the textures. I was just overwhelmed by the beauty here. And so I would love to find my way back here somehow, whether to network with some New Zealand architects and build a kind of a practice here, there. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I do love it here. In the future, I also made contacts on the airport. We've talked about, I've got a license in South Florida. I would like to do some larger projects, some waterfront projects. So I made a contact with an architect in Pennsylvania, and they're willing to help us kind of build a tangential relationship where they can help springboard us into taking on those larger scale projects. So I really don't know what the future holds, but there's a lot of options on the table. Well, I'm thankful, and I'm thankful for this group of people and just, the willingness to share in the architecture community, sharing ideas and thoughts. Everybody's kind of protective, and this group is different in that we all kind of come together. We just had a great synergy of personalities and energy, and this was fantastic.